got me in the middle of editing the video you're about to watch. And if you're interested in a league of our own, I hope this video helps answer some questions about the league, how it's run, what we do, what makes the league special. This is an exhibition game that took place at the end of the season last year. And we had the champions, which was Ferri and Sons, represented by Kent, and the Silver Division All-Stars playing off in a game. And it was quite a bit of fun. It was dramatic right until the last minute of the game. And I give a commentary of the game as well as a little bit of history and just kind of explain a little bit of rules, not a lot, it's mostly game. Try to add a little bit of levity when I can, but I hope you enjoy, and hopefully you decide you want to come play baseball with us, and you can find us at aleagueofourown.ca. Please check out our links to our Facebook page, Instagram page, as well as YouTube, which you are probably seeing this on. Hope to see you on the diamond. Welcome everyone to a very special end of season game. We just concluded the playoffs with Ferri and Sons coming out as the champions of the Gold Division and St. George winning the Silver Division. Now this special game is Ferri led by Kent and the All-Stars of the Silver Division. Now these All-Stars are created up of a player voted by all of the teams for the most sportsmanlike player on their team got the very first nod, and the second nod went to the person that had the highest offensive numbers on each team. And of course, while I was giving the intro, Ray wasted no time hitting his home run to center field to start the game and give the Silver All-Stars a 1-0 lead. Ray is one of the representatives from the champions of the Silver Divisions, St. George. Darcy is the batter. He comes to us from Concept Ford, and he drives it deep to center field as well, and gone. That is not surprising from Darcy, as he had 5 home runs on the year and 30 hits, and he is followed up by his teammate Dan. Dan also had 5 home runs on the season, and he is trying to see if he can go back to back to back, but this one is popped up to second base and caught by Greg. Greg, also from St. George, steps to the plate, not to be confused with Greg that just caught the last ball, also from St. George. Craig had 13 home runs on the year and looking to make his mark on this game. And for those of you that are tuning into your very first League of Our Own game, deciding if you want to join the league, I welcome you to this video, and I also want to tell you a little bit of history throughout this game. So this league was formed by a group of friends many years ago that were playing in a league, and they decided that there was too many non-baseball rules being thrown into the mix. So they decided to go out on their own and create a League of Our Own. And when they were sitting around mulling the names, one of the members came up and said, well, why don't we just call it a League of Our Own? And everyone decided that was a great name. Ironically, that name wasn't taken on most social media outlets or platforms, so that has actually worked out to our advantage. Unfortunately, we did not have the hindsight to grab it on every social media platform, because as years have gone on, especially in the States, there has been some more leagues that have decided to name their league the same thing, mainly a darts league. And with Craig getting his single, followed up by Michael with a single, there is now runners on second and first, with Cheyenne representing Team Georgetown Toyota coming to plate. Cheyenne has had many very nice hits over the last several seasons since she joined us, and I wouldn't be surprised if she drove it to the outfield and made the defense look bad, but not on this plate appearance as the first baseman gets her out at first, but she does do her job and moves the runners over to third and second, and giving Ryan Drysdale an opportunity to be the hero. So back to my story. A group of friends, Jeff, Rory, Derek, Al, Nick, when they decided to create the league, they ran it for the majority of 10 years, majority of the members staying in there. Jeff stayed for 10, and then he decided to hand the reins over to myself and Ian, and I am actually umping this game. I don't ump most of the games, but as this is more of an exhibition game, I am umping it. We used to ump all our own games before we went to paid umpires, and I kind of missed it, and seeing this as an exhibition game, I decided that I wanted to do it just because it had been a long time, and it's fun to ump sometimes. I got involved in the league on the second year when Al gave me a call and said, "Hey, do you want to come join my new league?" I had played baseball with Al in the previous league that they had left, as well as we were all the same age, so the majority of the guys in the group I went to school with, and I jumped at the opportunity to come play with them and experience this league. And little to my knowledge, one day I was going to be running the league with my friends. So Ryan took his walk and is now loaded up the bases for Fred. Fred is one of the premier members of the league that is always ready to pick up an extra game. He pretty much comes and watches games when he's not playing. So whenever someone is short and need a sub, he is one of the first guys that is available and ready to pick up and play the game. And he lines out to Greg, which, if you remember, caught, I want to say, the first out of the game as well. Luke steps to the plate, and I will say Luke is one of the biggest gifts we ever got as a league and an executive committee. The year that myself and Ian took over the league, I said one of my main priorities was to rebuild our website, as it was very dated. It was 10 years old at that stage. And Luke happened to join our league that year and just randomly came up to me and said, "Hey, I'd like to redo your webpage because it's outdated." And he has been one of the most valuable members of the league ever since then, because our webpage got so much more traffic after he redeveloped it and created it so we can have stats on there. So if you go to our webpage, everyone has all their stats on the season, which players absolutely enjoy. And Dave goes absolutely deep on that one, getting Team Kent back into this game. And a little side story, since Dave has joined the league, he has been an outstanding player with great defense, great hitting, and lots of home run power. And every time I watch Dave put on a performance like that, I am reminded that when he joined the team late last year, I was told that we had an old guy about my age that probably is about the same skill set, so not very good, and it wouldn't make that much of an impact. Yeah, that description was wrong. He's absolutely fantastic and much, much better.
I need that, please. Iris,
if he gives you another ball, I'll call him.
go there.
Ball, girl on deck, 2 bases. I'm just kidding.
Yes, Mila, it's the exact same, even with the crocodile and the hippo.
I'm gonna be honest, it was pretty darn close, but I really wanted to say that.
I knew that was coming. I was gonna suggest you said that.
So Kent definitely had whispered something to me. He had 3 balls on him, and if you get 4 straight balls in this league, an intentional walk before a female hitter, especially when it's a power hitter and one of the elite male hitters, and if you purposely walk him to get to one of the females, it's poor sportsmanship. So we institute a rule where automatically that hitter would be moved to second and the female gets the opportunity to go to first. So ribbing at Andrew, we called that rule. Keep in mind, Andrew is one of the elite hitters in the league, and I will say probably the person I want to face least when I have bases loaded, because he always seems to get hit off of me. That being said, it's just a sportsmanship rule that we have in place that we wanted to kind of call at his expense in this situation, and we got a little bit of a laugh. And again, it is an exhibition game in this case. And Kent is forced out at second base. And another quick little story, one of my favorite home runs I ever hit was in a situation like that, where one of our best pitchers that we've ever had in the league, she was on fire and really hard hit, but she was also facing one of the best hitters, best all-round players that actually ever played in this league, and his wife was hitting after him, and that was strategic so that if anyone wanted to walk him on purpose, that she would get the extra base, and then I was the next hitter. And I will admit it was the right call, because he is literally the best hitter we ever had in this league. And I got the bases loaded and did hit a grand slam off of her. So that rule can come back to haunt you, but in many cases it is there to keep sportsmanship in play. And Kyle takes the walk, and he has been a very steady hitter over the last couple of years as well.
Well, clearly I didn't do that.
It's close.
I'm pretty sure that was a sarcastic call, as the ball was over his head, if you heard the person off to the side there. But that is one thing, especially after doing as many videos as I have done, the amount of times people will argue with an umpire and they're completely out to lunch and completely wrong. Occasionally I have highlighted some of those people that have argued and shown how blatantly wrong they were on the call, just because, well, it kind of amuses me. Never show the face of the person that's arguing. You can only ever hear them in the background, but gets the point across. And Michael battling here, fouling a couple off, and trying to help his team take the lead.
Two and two.
Is your mom playing ball hockey there? No. Well, you're welcome for all the stuff. Don't eat it all tonight. Don't eat it all tonight. You'll get sick.
Michael down the line after a couple of foul offs, he finds the range and he makes his way down to first base, and he does drive in one and make it 2 more runs. So Kent's team now has a 4-2 lead. And again, if anyone is new to the league and is thinking of signing up to the league or trying to refer a friend and they're watching this video, the pitching rules are simple. You can throw as hard as you can, but you cannot break the plane of your shoulder with the ball. We do that to just try to keep it as fair as absolutely possible, because we do want all skill levels to be able to play in our league. And there is an absolute crush down the third base line that just stays inside, and Greg makes his way to first base. And what are you gonna do? You hope it goes foul sometimes, and it doesn't. And Nicole tries to move over the runner, and he is forced out at third to end the inning. And the All-Stars will now get their opportunity to get back in this game, and Julie will have the first opportunity to make that happen. I will say, getting selected to the game, she was the very first person voted on her team for sportsmanship, and she was joking around afterwards about telling her mom that she got voted on for sportsmanship and getting heckled a little, because I guess she is a little bit competitive. And if you watch enough of my videos, you'll realize I like to joke at my own expense, so I do appreciate others with the same kind of sense of humor and ability to laugh at themselves.
You got it right. It wasn't foul when it landed.
Yeah, I didn't know where it was. Unless it goes back.
And Kent gets the strikeout. Now back up to the top of the order, and Ray, which got us off to a hot start with the home run to start the game, is getting his second at bat, and he takes it up the middle and just squeaks by Andrew, which is one of the elite shortstops in the league.
Strike. Hey, Ted.
Now Darcy with his opportunity to keep it going after his hot start in the first inning as well. And he lines it back to Kent. He makes a fantastic turn to get Ray at second base. Excellent defensive play. Now Dan with his opportunity. And Dan with a nice drive to left field and an even better catch out in left field. Now Luke gets his opportunity and first pitch swinging, gets on to first base. I was going to give Luke some more props for the website that he had revamped, and he didn't even give me time, and Dave Lamb has given me less time going deep. Ray almost bringing that back, but Dave just enough to get over a jumping Ray's outstretched hand. Kent stepping into the plate. Kent has been one of the most dominant offensive forces in the league since he joined. He has been on the 2 biggest winning streaks of all time for teams in different seasons, and he takes it up through shortstop, just getting through Michael and continuing his hot run in 2024. But he will be getting a pinch runner. Andrew is stepping into the plate. Now, as this is Team Kent versus the All-Stars, Ferri team, which are the champions, had a couple of members that could not come and play in this game. And Andrew, we were joking around at the beginning of the game that he is Marcus, which is also one of the largest offensive threats in the league, and we will have a little bit of fun with him on that fact later on in the game. But Andrew coming in to set his mark on this inning. And he's battling with Ryan right now, which did a great job stepping in to pitch for this game. The pitcher that was slated for the All-Star games had an emergency right before the game, so Ryan stepped in and did a great job keeping everyone at bay. And Andrew and Ryan going with a long at-bat here, seeing a lot of pitches, and Andrew being very patient. Andrew is one of those guys that just amazes me on his ability to play in multiple leagues at multiple speeds. He plays in a league that is slow pitch. He plays in this, which is modified and can go a bit of more of a medium pace. And then he also basically plays in a league where none of us, for the most part, are going to be hitting it because it's so hard. And he goes back and forth between all 3 of those styles with ease.
I did think about it.
And he flies out to center field, giving Kyle his opportunity. And as Kyle steps in there, he's been catching for our team, Kent, and I've mentioned in other videos, catchers are so valuable because the majority of players do not want to catch. So anyone that's willing to catch is like automatic team all-star, because the majority don't want to crouch down for an hour and a half because it can be very difficult on your knees. And as I get older, I don't even want to do it for 5 minutes. And he singles with a little pop-up into center field. And moving it on to Michael, which is now getting an opportunity and fouls off himself and needs a minute. Not that we would have any fun at Michael's expense, but I think he might have taken that in the family jewels, and is doing his best to regroup and refocus and move his team forward because they want some more runs. And as I mentioned earlier, even though I did umpire this game, I did take this film and footage obviously back in September, and it is now November 28th as I sit back and I rewatch this film. So some of it I don't remember, and it's kind of reliving some memories and kind of funny moments that happened I may have forgotten about. But now that everyone's refocused again and Michael is getting his opportunity and he hits it to right field, and the outfielder moved in and got that ball. And now we have a little dribbler back to the pitcher, and he was looking to go to third and did not get the out. And Greg steps in, and he's made a couple of nice plays, and he gets lucky, and it bounces in between first base and the pitcher, and another run scored. And as Nicole steps into plate, it's a good time to kind of mention again for those that might be new to the league or watching to see if they want to sign up. We do allow members to sign up with up to 3 members. So we do create the teams based on strength and try to even things out as well as possible. So Nicole and her friends all signed up together as a group of 3. We are a co-ed mixed league, and we do try to accommodate requests, but we do match up to 3 friends, and then we create teams based upon skills and skill sets in the past years to the best of our ability. That's part of why we have split it into 2 divisions. So the season is basically to play out and basically determine, does your team deserve to be in the gold or the silver division? This way every team has an opportunity to win their championship, because we don't know from year to year with some of the new players, and also sometimes people's increased skill from year to year, because usually from year 1 to year 2 some people take a big jump on abilities, and also some of us that are getting a little more up there in age sometimes go the opposite direction. So breaking it into 2 divisions based on wins keeps it very competitive and makes it more fun for people to have an opportunity to win their championship against similar based and skilled teams. And Craig just missing his 14th home run on the season, just barely stayed in the park. But Michael now is going to get an opportunity to do the same. So just to break down the playoff structure just a little bit more and how the teams are made, now that there's 2 divisions, it leaves an opportunity for 2 teams to leave on a high, 2 teams that just missed out, and having this all-star game at the end of the season gets people an opportunity that may have been on teams that struggle a little bit for their most sportsmanlike player and their most offensive player to come and play in a game and hopefully leave on a high note. And it does help with the community. And after 2020, that rough year everyone had after COVID, it has been fantastic the last couple of years to get out and have this sportsmanship and have a team in a place like this to go and enjoy with other people in the community. And this is a great league for people that may not have a connection, that just moved into town, that want to sign up for baseball but they don't know where to begin, or in some cases you just need to know someone to get on a team. This way you get to get on a team and you don't have to worry about knowing someone. And now with runners on third and second, Cheyenne at the plate with an opportunity to drive in a run, and she hits it towards shortstop, bringing in Craig to score and moving Michael over to third. So she did her job, moving the runners and scoring a run. And Ryan, after doing all the pitching so far for the Silver All-Stars facing Kent, he dribbles it down to third base, scoring another run, and the Silver All-Stars are now back in it, trailing 7-4. And Stacy up to bat and trying to continue this streak and move the runners. And Stacy hits it up towards second base. A very nice turn by Greg. Over to Andrew with a strong throw over to first to Michael to get the out and end the inning. So it's a 3-run difference with Kent's team coming up to bat and Luke up first. And let's see if Luke gives me enough time to brag about the great job he has done on the website. And no, he is not. He is hitting it up towards third base and through shortstop, and he makes his way down to first base, and I will finish that story before this game ends, I swear. And Dave immediately comes in and hits yet another home run, and he is on fire. And I want to point out, I joked around earlier about giving Andrew a hard time that he was supposed to be the sub for Marcus, one of the biggest offensive players we have in the league. And right now I'm giving him a hard time because Dave Lamb, with all his home runs so far in this game, he has definitely claimed the title of Marcus for home runs. And Kent with the little pop-up, and Ryan hauls that in. And after the ribbing I gave Andrew, he immediately steps into the plate and drills it up the middle to take a single, but it's not a home run. So he's trying to make his way now over to second and sneaks in there.
That's out. That is so out.
And you gotta love the kid in the back there, rooting for his team and calling that out, even though he was clearly safe at second base. But you gotta love the spirit on the kid and his attitude for winning.
She's got 1 more minute.
And Kyle with yet another opportunity to make his mark on this game. And he takes it up through shortstop as well, getting on base. And Michael steps into the plate and watches the first one sail over his head, and showing good patience here, and he wants his opportunity. He takes this down the line, and Julie makes a phenomenal catch there, and you can definitely see the celebration and the happiness after making that catch off of Michael. Smart defense by Team All-Star, moving Julie to the line there. Michael had hit down the line and each of the bats previously before this one, so great placements and great catch on Julia's part. And now we have our next hitter, and she hits it back towards the pitcher, trying to run it down, and she does. She beats it, the throw to first base, and it also drives in an RBI as Andrew scores.
No, they don't know who's not.
And Greg again from Team St. George hits it up towards shortstop, and it sneaks through, and he drives in yet again another run for Team Kent.
I thought you did it.
And with a runner on second and first, Team Kent looking to score some more as they've taken now a 11-4 lead on the All-Stars and trying to increase that. As in this league, no lead is ever safe. And Ryan ends the inning with a strikeout. Of course, Julie, after that great catch in the last half of the inning, gets the first at bat and trying to get her team off, and she hits it up towards shortstop, and he's up with the throw and just out. Ray, which got the game off to that hot start with the home run in the beginning, getting his opportunity to try to help get the Silver All-Stars back in this game.
Good hit.
What's the point?
Good hustle. You're like 1 step off.
I know, because we're all slow to start. If I start a little faster than me.
So no lead is safe whatsoever, and doesn't matter what the score is, 11-4, that is not a big difference in this game. And this team is talented and has enough firepower that it can easily come back. And Ray, taking it in the back there, decides he does not want to take the base. Especially again because Ray is a very talented hitter, and this is just an exhibition game. It really doesn't matter. If he doesn't want to take the base and give him an opportunity to swing away, by all means. And he dribbles it up towards third base, and he gets on anyways. Now Darcy with the opportunity, and Darcy's had some really nice big hits, but this is right back to Kent with again the nice spin to second to get Ray and on to first, but Darcy beats that out. And Dan, Darcy's teammate, now up to bat, and he takes one deep, but foul. Watching Kent pitch here, and he's taken a handful of balls back off of the batter's bats to himself, and he has had some really nice smooth turns and throwing to second base to complete outs. Very smooth, very crisp. Dan also a threat to go deep here. He has a lot of power and is a very good shortstop. I will say he was on one of my teams that won a championship, and he was one of the biggest threats on the team. And that was one of the most talented teams I'd ever played on in this league. And he was among the stronger people.
Can you guys open a couple balls?
Flashing back to that team, and you just never know from year to year. His buddy Aaron had just joined the league the year before, and he had a good start to his season. But the next year, the year in which I was talking about, it just went absolutely off and became one of the league leaders in home runs, if not leading the league in home runs. And Dan gets absolutely robbed by a phenomenal catch out there in center field. And just again, to try to brag about Luke's improvements on the website, one of the biggest things besides just adding stats to our website, which he did a great job with, he actually increased the traffic. When you would Google our league, you wouldn't find us for 3 or 4 pages on baseball. Even if you punched in Georgetown, Halton Hills, you wouldn't find us. Now when you Google our page, thanks to Luke, it is actually the #1 baseball league that comes up, and that's all thanks to him and driving people to the website, especially with the stats, especially with the updates, and that has made a huge difference and made it a lot easier for people to discover us, find us when we're high on the search now versus before when we were low down on the search. And he dribbles that down to third, just fair, and a big strong throw, but over top of Ryan, and Luke will make his way to second base. And now with Dave up to bat again, we will see if his hot streak continues after I made a huge scene on the last inning bragging about how he was the Marcus of this game with the home run power. I may have jinxed him. Let's see what happens here. And I should note there has been a pitching change. Dan has stepped in. Dan wasn't actually wanting to pitch in this game, but is stepping up and giving it a go, but wasn't really feeling that he had the ability to go as strong as he would like at the beginning of the game, but he is gutting it out and giving it a shot.
That thing just
Usually the fence dies it down a little.
And that little bounce off of the backstop that hit me in the side of the head, I wish was the only ball that hit me in the head in this game, but no worry, no lost brain cells. You got to have them in order to lose them. And after all of Dave's home runs, the wise thing to do is walk him, and Dan did just that, and Kent steps into the plate, but Kent is no stranger to going deep as well, so not an easy opponent at all to face in this situation.
Well, your mom was almost safe on first.
And he dribbles it back up with the check string up the middle, and somehow it sneaks through everyone, driving in another run to make it 12-4.
Are you all ready?
No. It's low and outside. It's a courtesy walk.
Oh, that's good. Thank
So now with runners on third and first, Andrew's getting another opportunity, and he drives it deep to center field. And is it gone? No. It is caught by the center fielder and just missed another home run, but he does drive in Dave for another run.
Strike.
And Kyle at the plate, and he has an opportunity to move Kent up to second base. And he drills it to second base, and she comes up to the plate, and Kent is forced out at second.
Your chin doesn't look too bad. Yeah.
It doesn't heal it properly.
Yes, it does. That's
And Michael once again at the plate after getting robbed by Julie in the last inning. And you can see she is guarding that line once again as he has gone down to the line on every at-bat so far in this inning. And he almost does again, but this is just foul, picked up by Ryan and returned to the pitcher. Let's see if he can go down that line again and if Julie robs him once again.
Don't be throwing that. That's team's ball. There's his glove. You need to play throw it.
And he actually goes up the middle trying to confuse everyone, but Michael at shortstop pulls that in and ends the inning.
Thrower, but you just don't have the aims.
Both me and Julia always
For now.
And Craig up to bat now, and he is again representing St. George, and he hits it towards shortstop, and Andrew is not going to miss that. A routine through. Oh no, it was dropped and bobbled, and Craig gets on safely to lead up to Michael, again, one of the stronger hitters in the league, and he hits it hard to center field, and he hits it out.
I'm my dad's favorite.
Yeah, well, I don't think they have favorites.
Yeah.
Why is your dad said you're my favorite, Mila?
No, he says he doesn't have favorites.
And Cheyenne is up to bat, and you can always tell when Cheyenne is around because she does bring her own cheering squad to every game. And I will say, when I've been cutting film on different games, her cheering squad has actually stolen the show and been the highlight of games. So let's see what she can do and give them something to cheer for, as she's had some very productive at-bats so far in this game. And she hits it down to third base, and she beats out the throw, and she gets to first base, and Ryan is now up to base trying to move Cheyenne up.
Who's my favorite?
I got a point. I wanted to say strike just because he asked for it and you gave it to me.
It hit the plate.
I don't care.
But you obviously don't like Alice. Because the one time.
What?
Strike.
Because remember, she literally did talk to me like, come give me a hug for winning or whatever. I don't know.
And Ryan up to bat. Ryan is always a very patient hitter as he watches that one go high. Ryan typically goes deep into a lot of counts. As a pitcher, he does not help you out by swinging at pitches that you may have missed or is out of the strike zone, and he will work big, large counts consistently and take his base, but he also has the power to go deep. He is a threat.
I don't think Zoe would say that I'm her favorite.
She said it before.
I think she's single.
And he flares this one down to third, and just foul. He will come back and continue this at bat and his patience. And this plate appearance is going the distance. And the question now is, who's going to win? Kent the pitcher or Ryan the hitter? Let's see if this will be decided on this next pitch. And it is, and it's drilled down the line, and he moves up the runner. So now there is runners on third and first. Excellent at bat by Ryan. And one of the things that I definitely want to give a shout out to is Kent. He has become one of the better pitchers in the league. This is a bit of an exhibition game, so he's not necessarily going all out, but this is for the League of Our Own championship belt, which is put on the line for this game at the end of the season. And he pitches to Stacy, and Stacy hits it out to Luke, and Luke comes up with a fine catch to retire Stacy. And here comes Julie, and let's see what Julie can do. As Julie fouls off the first pitch and now waiting for her next pitch.
I think we're good.
Not really sure what was going on there, as this was again 2 months prior to this. I don't remember, but Julie fouls off another pitch and gets set to face Kent one more time. Who's going to come out on top of this battle? And it pitch was high, but Julie did swing, and it is a strikeout.
He had to miss it, right? I think.
No, there's only one out, so she can't. You can't run. And there's someone on first base.
Oh, who's on first? I play slow pitch. I don't know.
Yeah, let's do it. No. Or one.
No, it's 2. Stacy flew
Yeah,
out.
You try, Julie.
That's one sometimes in recreational baseball where you get a lot of people playing that don't play every day. Sometimes do get the rules slightly confused. And in the case of baseball rules, when there is a runner on first base and less than 2 outs, you cannot run. It's an automatic out. If there is 2 outs, you can advance. All runners can advance, but all runners can also be tagged out for that 3rd out. And Darcy smacks it down to first base, but Michael comes up with a nice snag.
Well, they're on the board now.
And with Kent's team with a 13-7 lead over the All-Stars, this game is far from over. Dan is in for his 2nd inning of pitching, and he is looking to help get his team back into the fold after a good inning, the last inning out.
Take one for the team. Take it off the head.
And you can see the light ribbing going on between the batter and the bench, joking around about taking a pitch for the team. And you can see this game was a very fun game, and there was a lot of light-hearted ribbing and joking throughout the game. And she makes contact up to the pitcher, and Dan swallows that up and throws it over to Ryan over at first base to get her at first. Now Craig gets an opportunity to hit.
It came in over the thing. Did you see? I hit it, and it was a foul, and it was a foul, and it was hit.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah, if you hit, you should have been hit that way. Were you hit this way?
I told him she was throwing it, and then it hit a
And with most of the games, I just post them without commentary or scores. You do get to listen to the background chatter, which I will admit is quite amusing from time to time. You never know what you're going to hear on these different games, which is also a reminder, don't be saying things you don't want to hear by the camera. But quite often there's some great candid moments that are caught on these films. And again, the majority of videos do not have commentary, so you get it in its natural state as Greg takes the walk and hits on down to first base. I will say a couple of my favorite moments where players got caught saying certain things that amused me are usually at my expense. I may have hit a home run against a team, and I wouldn't mention the player by name, Daniel Clausen, but he might have been catching the game, and as soon as I hit the home run, he immediately was like, well, that's the only one he's going to hit. And I typically, when I do videos of home runs, don't let it play out until the runner runs around all the bases, but I decided to clip that one right until I got chirped at the end. It's like I like getting chirped because I also did the same thing when one of my teammates decided to chirp me when I was subbing for another team. And in fairness, it was one of the largest home runs I had hit in years, and I took it out of the park by probably 30 feet, and all you hear is one of my teammates yelling, "Why doesn't he do that for our team?" It is kind of neat to hear some of the background noise and the things that go on. And I've also caught some really good home run calls from people in the back and just reactions, and it can be quite amusing on some of the chirping that friends do amongst each other as well. Another one of my all-time favorite background calls I ever heard was one of the executives on the league, Ken. He saw someone hit the ball and it went to one of the best outfielders in the league, and his name is Billy, and all you hear is, "Not to Billy." And with that, Luke pops out to Ryan to end it. And Dan up to bat, trying to get his team back in this. And Kent throws the pitch in, and Dan hits it to left field, and the outfield comes running in, but they can't make it to it, and Dan is safe on first. And I take one hard off the melon, off the foul, and at this point, just try to shake it off and move on over.
Yeah, I'm good.
You're open now, Ian.
You can kind of hear people in the background joking around with Ian, the other gentleman that runs the league with me, that he's going to have to go in and ump after me taking that one off the noggin. Like I said, sometimes the most entertaining part of the games and on the watch back is actually the crowds. Michael in the box, and he drives it deep to center field, and he is advancing the runner, and the runner will come around to score to make it 13-8. Excellent. Well done.
That shortstop should be benched.
The body is this big.
Kill it!
I don't know. Why is it in here?
It's scary. There was a bunch of wasps in there when I was there. I know. I discovered it one time I was dog sitting.
That didn't catch you.
There's no spot. They don't.
And Cheyenne up to bat now. And I've given out some love to the back catchers because we appreciate them so much and the people that are willing to catch during games. And Cheyenne is definitely among those. We probably have about 3 ladies that catch in the league right now, which is absolutely fantastic. And they do a great job. As we wait for the ball to come back to Ken, but we decide to throw it around a little bit. I casually decide maybe I should go get it. I will point out that's also a sign of an old man when he goes to bend over like that and he's really thinking to himself, if I bend down to get this ball, I might not get back up, but I somehow manage to show off my athleticism and get that ball off the ground.
I think they want to come near you because they know you'll kill them.
And Cheyenne with the hit to left field as it drops and gives Michael a chance to go to third. And he decides he's going to go all the way. The relay to Kent, Kent to the catcher, and he is out. What a great play. I'm not going to lie, that play was so close. I just rewatched it to make sure I made the call right. I literally had to slow it down frame by frame, and it was the correct call. But man, that was a close call at home plate, and they get the next batter out as well.
Cricket rolls, it bounced into the zone.
And just like that, Team Kent comes up to bat, and Dave, after the hot night he has, grounds out to shortstop, and he is over with the throw to first base. But the runner is safe as the ball came loose. And Kent to the plate, trying to lead his team to victory with a shot to left field and out for the quick 2 runs. And for those watching that are new to the league, you are allowed to immediately walk off after a home run just to save time and get us extra time playing the game that we love instead of just watching someone run the bases. But you are allowed to run the bases if you choose to. But we do ask you go get your own ball after you hit a home run, so you might as well run out to the field instead. And Andrew stepping into the box, trying to add to the lead that Team Kent has. And Andrew hits a strong hit up the middle, and he heads down to first base. And Kyle watches ball 1 come in. And as the second one comes in, he turns over it, and it goes up to Cheyenne, and Cheyenne makes a nice play over to second base to get the lead runner. And here comes Michael to try to move the chains. And Michael once again goes down the first base line. I am thinking for my scouting for next year, everyone plays the first base line when Michael comes up, and he can hit it pretty hard. He might still hit it into the gap, even though he's going down the first base line. And I kind of figured I would just let you listen to the kids having a good time in the background there. They are having an absolutely fantastic time at the ballpark on this night, watching their parents play some baseball. I say parents because I have no idea whose kids they are. So hopefully there's someone's kids that are at this game, but who knows? I'm sure they are.
That shirt looks good on you, Jenny. Make every shot.
What is it, a soccer shirt?
No, hockey.
He doesn't even like hockey. So,
And once again, Greg at the plate. He comes to us from the Silver Division champion, St. George, which St. George is our longest running sponsor in the league. We've been fortunate to have a lot of really good sponsors that have stuck with us through the years. St. George is by far the longest sponsor we've had, so we very much value them. Toyota has been with us for several years, as well as Ferri has been with us for several years, as well as a bunch of new sponsors that we've taken on in the last couple of years, such as Extreme, Hansen Home Inspection,
Says who?
not to mention Norm Can Do, which is also one of our umpires, Barbertown Pub, and Concept Ford. All this year's sponsors, all doing a great job, and want to give a little bit of props to them every opportunity we get. And again, anyone that's looking to become a sponsor in the future, we do name our teams after our sponsors. So every time someone says, "Who are you playing?" we say your sponsor's name. Every time someone asks who won, your sponsor's name gets mentioned. We obviously do that strategically to give as many props to our sponsors as possible, because we appreciate their help and we can't do this without them. And the more times we can mention their names, the better. So again, props to all of our sponsors: Concept Ford, Georgetown Toyota, Norm Can Do, Barbertown, St. George Pub, Extreme Steel, Ferri, and not to forget Hansen Home Inspection. And with that, the All-Stars take care of Team Kent. And now to try to close that 7-run gap, as Stacy grounds out to shortstop and Andrew and Michael take care of that. And here comes Julie. Julie grounds up to Kent. Kent over to Michael. And here comes Ray. Got to take advantage of some of these opportunities when they're given to you. And Ray again is one of the most consistent hitters in the league, as he waves and misses at that. As we are a time allotted league, and once we run out of time and we have a drop dead time, it'll be over, and Team All-Star needs to take advantage of these opportunities because time is starting to run out. And Ray drives a solid single up into left field, giving Darcy an opportunity to continue this inning, because again, they are running out of opportunities as time is starting to disappear, and Darcy is in a good position to try to drive Ray up as they are at the top of their lineup. It'll give more opportunities for some of their strongest hitters in this inning to come to the plate. And of course, Kent from Ferri's and Sons team trying to stop that. They are our reigning champions this year, and he throws one in behind Darcy, so it's better than letting Darcy hit a home run. So there is a batter on first and second for Dan, and Dan also has some home run power, and he can get this game a lot closer real quick, and he hits it quickly up to shortstop, and he drives in Ray, as Ray is a heads-up base runner and takes advantage, and he scores, giving an opportunity to Craig, which is one of his teammates on the season, to see what he can do to move the runners. And Darcy, again, heads up running. He takes third on that low pitch from Kent. And all of a sudden, with some of the power that's coming up right now for Team All-Star, this game could be close real quick, but there is a couple of outs already. And Craig bounces it down to third, and it gets through, and another run scored. That's making it 15-10. Much, much closer all of a sudden.
Wouldn't it be something if they won? Just need a home run, I don't know.
Well,
This was 2 months, so that would be 11.
And Kent with the pitch, and a little bit high, and we shall see who wins this battle.
Wet.
Fouled off by Michael.
that would have been a strike. It was right on the edge.
Don't eat it all. You'll get sick. That's it. Let's put the rest in the bag. That's all you can have, okay? Whoa.
Even though I don't ump too often, I like to get down as low as I possibly can over top of the catcher's shoulder. It gives you a better view of the strike zone. And Michael hits it up the middle and brings in Dan. And again, this game is getting closer all of a sudden. Cheyenne, which is, again, a very solid hitter, knocks it up the middle, and it is fumbled. So she makes it to first, and another run scores. And Ryan just smacks it the opposite way, and he takes first, and he moves the runners up as well. Wow, this game is not over. Stacy is up again, Stacy being one of the most willing participants in the league to pick up any game. So any night a team is short, he is there and ready to go, and he drills it to left field as well. And here comes Michael. And the All-Stars have come to play, and Julie with a strong hit over top of shortstop, scoring Cheyenne. The ladies have come to play. Storming back with the All-Stars, now just down 1 run. Can Ray, and oh, he does. He hits it hard to right field, bringing in Ryan. And this game is all tied up at 15 all. I didn't see this coming. This is an absolutely great comeback by the All-Stars, tying up the game with Team Kent, the champions, and looking for more as Darcy is in the box.
You guys gotta toughen up.
And again, whoever that mom is out and behind, I think I love her. Yelling at the kids to toughen up. That's what we need.
I feel badly.
Again, I just get amused by the things that I hear behind the camera. Again, some of the best comments, the best things you'll hear are not intended on being on camera, but it's fantastic when you listen to some of the games on the different things that are in the background. Anyways, time to refocus. Darcy's hitting, and Darcy pops it up to Andrew, and Andrew is not going to miss that to end the inning. And I'll admit, I actually thought in real life that it was over. I didn't realize the All-Stars had gotten that many runs, and that is phenomenal. But now we have a chance for a dramatic win. Can someone do a walk-off? How is this game going to end? And Luke has the very first opportunity to make an impact in this inning. And Luke hits it, but that is going to Michael at shortstop, and he hauls that in. Again, Michael, a very sure-handed shortstop, not going to miss that. Now we have Dave. Dave has, again, had the hot hand all night. He's hit so many home runs, even in a tie game. Do you take the chance of walking him? And the answer is no, and he pops up to Ray. Oh, wow, this is really coming down to the last minute. Kent, the captain. Kent, the man. Kent, can he be the hero?
I don't know how to change that.
And Kent lines it to left field, and he is now on first base. And it looks like he will be taking a pinch runner at this stage, moving it on to Andrew. Out of all the ribbing I gave Andrew earlier on, can he end this game? Will this be the moment of legends, the moment that Andrew proves that he should have been considered Marcus for this game? And seeing I explained that inside joke several innings ago, I don't feel bad for throwing an inside joke on here. But let's see if we can live up to the moment and end the season on a high. And he takes another one high. Can't do much with that. And he grounds it down towards third and up with it, and not in time, as there's still runners on first and second, with Kyle now coming up to the bat with the opportunity. Kyle has been in these situations before. In the last 2 years, he's been in playoff games for the championship. And can he be the one to drive in the winning run for this, the belt game? And Ryan to Kyle, and Kyle drills it to center field, and it's in. And the runner comes around to score to make it 16-15, and Team Kent comes storming back after the first 2 outs, and it looks like we might have been going to extras. Team Kent comes back and wins the belt. Unfortunately, I don't have handy a nice picture of the belt, but trust me, you can kind of see it in the background as the teams take pictures as I walk out with the belt here, and it is absolutely a beautiful championship belt. And if I do say, it might be our nicest trophy. Out of our 3 trophies, this might be the best trophy we have as the teams shake it up. And this was a spectacular game. It was fun. Everyone enjoyed it, and looking forward to many, many more years of great friends, great baseball, and great summers.
Hopefully not on base. That's okay, you guys go to the front.
Hey, jump in, help him.
Jump in.
Good. We need some muscle there. Hold it around. Are you ready? Positive? Is everyone looking?
Look away as soon as you do
Well done. If you have your cameras, you can take pictures with it too. You guys are awesome.
Oh my do a cute pose too.
I want to run it. That's
I came inside my own children.
Well, you find those Why? To go where?
Taylor, you look sad.
That's how I try to help.
I'm trying to be like smile. Of
course.
I didn't get one good picture.
hang out.
I didn't get one good picture. I even take them like that.
Really wants to be there you go. Better season than
That was a good, exciting finish. Yeah. Make it sporting.
You guys want to take the one home?
I didn't get one.
You got to bring it back. Yeah, it's got to come back.
Oh, butter.
I don't have enough money.
No, how much?
I have the back here. I got it. Yeah. Go, go, go. Ready, Taylor? Get on the bench. Get the space. Go, come on. We need to play. Get fine. You don't need it. No, you don't. Watch out. Here's the field.
Hey, listen, they sat here for 2 hours to watch them play.
Go, Miller.
Give them a break.
Come on. Okay, fine. Let me go first then. Let me go first then. You're right there.
You might wonder how I can edit an entire game, do voiceovers, and just let it roll like this, like I forgot to edit it. Well, I'm just kind of curious who watched to the end. Anyways, have a great year, and let's see you next season on the Diamond. And let's hear a shout out if you got to this point.